Hey, what is up, y'all? Welcome to Solo Game Day here at Heavy Cardboard. Teach, play, and discuss medium and heavy strategy board games, war games, 18xx. I am your host, Edward Euler. Happy to be joined by y'all, because it's just us today. Yep. Should be a good time, though. It's only 4 rounds, but it still should be a good time. So I am bringing y'all Petrichor, with an insane amount of expansions, designed by David Cherkup and also David Terzi, and published by Mighty Boards. So welcome, everybody watching live around the world, as well as after the fact. Should be a good time today, like I said. Like, subscribe, support the show if you are so inclined over on pledgehc.com. So I am playing with most of the expansions. I say most. I'm not playing with any of the promo tiles, so I guess that would be the only thing. But those 3 expansions. So what is that? The bees, flowers. Although there aren't any flower tiles, we are playing with the other 2 parts of the expansion, and cows. Currently available over on Kickstarter if you're so inclined. Think it ends tomorrow. So heads up. This isn't sponsored. I just did it as a favor and just to be nice and to help support everybody that is involved there, including Jess, obviously. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in this game when you add in all the expansions. So we're going to go slowly. I will describe the setup. And I am going to describe the setup, and I'm going to describe the game. I am not going to do a full teach of the game on the front end, but I will give an overview of the solo game with the expansions as I'm playing it. I'm not going to pick it apart and be like, well, if you don't have this, then this. I'm not doing all that. I am doing it as if you would back the Kickstarter at the whole kit and caboodle, and you're insane and wanted to throw everything together. So that's what we're going to do today. All right? So if y'all are ready, I'm ready. Let's get into Petrichor, Smell of Rain. All right. So I'll be honest. Before I first did anything to do with Petrichor, I didn't know what Petrichor was. And apparently is the smell of rain. I believe it's right before a rainstorm or right after a rainstorm, as it were. All right. So what is it we are looking at here? So we have the main board. So that's in the base game. The climate board, which is in the cows expansion. And then we have the game set up for the solo play, which is going to be 6 tiles. Now, there are a number of things here that are set up. Like I said, I am not going to go over everything in detail, except for the setup, because I think this is important for you guys for whenever you see all of this. So it must be set up on the 4-turn side. So as you can see there, 4 turns, pretty simple there. All right. We have the round marker for round 1, and then the harvest dice we've already rolled, and we have the harvest dice set up right there. All right. Now I shuffled up the tiles, and there are a bunch of tiles involved here, but the key here is in the base game there are essentially 2 different types of tiles. There are regular tiles, and then there are tiles that can be used in a solo game. The ones with that can be used in a solo game have the southern wind icon, which is this little kind of a windrose icon down on it. So all of those have been removed. All of the ones that don't have that icon have been removed. In addition, so I think we have this one from the base game and this one from the base game. Those were legitimately random. And then we have a tile from the Flowers expansion, a two tiles from the Honeybee expansion, and a tile from the Cows expansion, because, again, this is insane, playing with all of them. And it's going to be a lot of interesting stuff. Well, how do we set up these tiles? The tiles are not placed out randomly. Once you have randomly or not randomly chosen your tiles, you then order them counting left or right, top to bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You do so in the windrose number. So we have windrose number 3, 5.5, because halves, and then 6.5, 7.5, 10, and then 12. There is a set number, lowest to highest, left to right, top to bottom. So after you have done that, then a number of things are going to happen. If you're playing with the fertilizer, and again, we are, because, yeah. So I did randomly choose either basically 1 or 2, and then we alternated putting a fertilizer tile down to where they are none adjacent to any of the other tiles from there. Then after that, the Primula Vulgaris is not in play, so we skip that. The Anthill is not in play, we skip that. However, the Honeybee expansion is in here. So then we have to add 1 dormant pollen to each field, unless if it's the lake or the Anthill, neither of which is in play, you don't put it on those. What is that? These are the dormant pollen tiles. I forget the opposite of dormant, but whatever that is that side, but as it is, we put 1 dormant one on all 6 tiles there. Then we place the bee on a corner tile, because again, in the solo game, and I rolled a die, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and the honeybee ended up there. Then I chose yellow, because duh. All right, so I'm yellow, obviously. And then the AI is going to be green. Why, you might ask yourself? Because, well, I'm used to losing to green anyways, so let's just keep it consistent. Okay, good. So I start with my 20 glass beads, just like in a regular game, and I start with my 12 vote discs as well. Then I have the other green ones off screen as well. And as you can see, the score marker's at 0. The vote marker is at 0 points to begin with. And as I mentioned earlier, the round marker is there. The start player is always the AI. They always take their turn first, so we don't have to bother choosing that. Then I went ahead and shuffled and dealt myself 9 cards. 9 cards because the Cows expansion, okay? All right? So I've done that. And also, and I'll go ahead and show you guys these. I'm not going to go over these in detail. These include the Cow cards, which have been added to the regular deck as well. Okay? All right. So let me shuffle those back up. Good enough for government there. All right. Then, obviously not going to bother with the drafting variant because 1 player. I'll deal with what I get. That's fine. Then I have to roll. I rolled 3 different times with the D6 here for the solo game. The first 2 are going to be placing a cloud with a neutral water drop, i.e. Jess, i.e. the AI. So I rolled a 2 and I rolled a 5. So it's always going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 whenever I rolled. And I rolled a 1 for me as well. In addition to that, with the Cows expansion, the Cow and the methane starts in a very specific area. The Cow will start in the bottom right, and there will be 1 methane in each cloud in those locations. It just so happened to be that I rolled a 1, 2, and a 5, so there are no methane-only clouds out there as well. In addition to that, I have shuffled up the Southern Wind deck. That's the AI deck. Now, the reason these are all in sleeves is because I actually had to print out the cards for the Cow expansion. It's a prototype, so I didn't have those. So to make it less obvious to myself what card's coming next, I went ahead and sleeved all of those. So I've shuffled those. I'll shuffle those again before we get started. And then we have the player powers, all right? And the forecast cards. Now, the forecast cards, this is a giant deck from all of the expansions as well. And again, I had to print off, and by I mean Jess, had to print off some of these and their paper, so we ended up sleeving all of these. The forecast cards, basically what's going to happen is I'm going to shuffle these up, and I'm going to get 3 of these at the start of the game. The rest are going to be out of play, and these are going to be little rule breakers for us as we go along. I have these face up so I don't forget to do that as we begin. The player powers I will talk about here in a little bit, but then I start with 2 honey. So this will be my pile down here of stuff above my name right there. And then the AI will actually, they start with 3 honey. And you might be asking yourself, why do they start with 3 honey? Well, we take a look at the honey tiles out here, and there is a 2 honey and a 1 honey. 2 plus 1 equals 3, ergo, the AI starts with 3 honey. Also, the AI also starts with 1 methane token as well from the cows expansion. And there you go. And last but not least, there is the player power cards. Now, there are normally, I believe, 5 player power cards in the base game. Then there is the honeybee one, and then there is the cow. Check that. The cow one right there. And what's going to happen here is we collectively are going to choose one of these, and that's going to be our permanent asymmetric power for the rest of the game. The AI doesn't get one. The end. All right. So that is basically the setup for the game. All right. However, I am going to do a quick little overview on how you play the solo game with all the insanity that is all of these expansions. All right, so starting off with, the goal of the game is victory points. Victory points are represented by these icons out here. Anytime you see the little flowering bud, the little, there is a term for that. Those are victory points. So, victory point track around the outside. Hopefully for your sake and my sake, we score more than 50. If we don't, so be it. All right, so the game is played over the course of 4 rounds in the solo game. Each round has 5 phases. Now, you might be asking yourself, why are there 5 phases? There are only 4 in my rule book. Well, that's because the cow expansion adds a 5th phase, which is really the 2nd phase now. I'll go over that here in detail a little bit. So the first thing first is the neutral player is going to take their turn, okay? So the neutral player is we're going to flip over one of these cards and do what it is. I will go over that in detail as we actually play the game. But the neutral player takes their turn, boom, done. Then we can take our turn. Well, of our hand of 9 cards, we're going to play a card and do whatever the associated action is with the card that we have played. Now then, after we have done so, we must then vote, which is going to be putting out little markers out here or changing the value of these dice to gain victory points or to be able to trigger certain things later on in the round. After we have done so, we then optionally may take a second action, meaning playing more cards or methane from our hand, or possibly honey from our hand, to be able to do actions. And you can do up to 2 actions on your turn. Then after that has happened, or you may pass, I guess technically, the second step or the second phase is the climate phase. The climate phase has to do with this board as well as the methane cubes. We're going to count the number of methane cubes that are out there on in the various clouds. Right now there are 3. So we would then look at this chart here. There are 3 methane cubes, so this track would go down 2. And then we would activate whatever it is. And by we, I mean whoever has the most methane. Well, in this case, the AI has more methane than I do, so they would get to do whatever it is that this says to do. And again, I will cover all these in detail when we actually trigger that part of the game. All right. Then, and it will stay there. Then after that, we go into the weather phase. And then the 2 weather spots out here that have the most votes, because again, we voted after we have taken each of our actions to put our little voting icon or tokens out here. Whichever have the 2 most, those will trigger at the end of a round. If tied, hey, The first, or the solo player gets to decide, so yay. We'll trigger whatever those two events are, or those two things are. Then, if all three of these dice show the harvest symbol, which is that symbol right there, then we go into, and I don't know where that was, I'll re-roll them before we get started. If all three do, we then go into the harvest. We have a harvest. If not, you don't do the harvest phase, which is basically the scoring phase. Unless it's the end of the game, then you always do a harvest phase then. And finally, the fifth phase is a cleanup phase. Okay, easy enough. Rinse and repeat, do that 4 times, and whoever has scored the most points, whether it's us or Jess, wins the game. There you go. Obviously, there's a whole lot more to this, but I think that's enough to go ahead and get started. So, a couple things. We need to roll the dice, because I can't remember how the hell that was set, that die was set. Then we need to choose the player powers, and we need to shuffle up the that deck and be able to take the 3 rule breakers and then go. So we'll start with the easy stuff. Let's go ahead and roll these. There we go. Oh, wow. Gonna be an early harvest. Okay, interesting. All right. I will go ahead and, you know what? Let's go ahead and go over what the player powers are. And I do not have them all committed to memory. You guys will have to beg, or I will beg your forgiveness. And if not, then tough. It's still going to have to happen. All right. So here we go. The player powers. Now, we are going to choose what we are going to get here. All right. So let's do this. The frost one. Okay, this is going to be an ongoing asymmetric power that we have. Okay, I don't care what the dice were weathered. That's fine. We're going to keep it where they are now. All right, so the frost one right here. This says you can add 2 drops into a new cloud with a frost card action. Normally, you can only add 1 drop. That's actually really, really good. I like that one. The next one we will cover is the rain one, and it says here that you have an alternate rain card action as opposed to the base action. Add 1 of your droplets to a tile without a cloud and vote like normal. All right. The next one is the harvest one. After a harvest, this player can keep a droplet on up to 3 different tiles that were just harvested. The fact that we're going to have an early harvest, that makes that tempting. Just saying. All right, the next one over here is going to be, that is the sun one. You can play 1 card as a sun card at any time. And a sun action allows you to add 2 drops into a cloud you're already present in. That's pretty nice. Okay. And yes, there is a little fox, not a snow fox, however. All right. All right. The wind one is during the wind card action, this player can move the selected cloud to any tile instead of just orthogonally adjacent. It's very limited, but can be useful. And then we have the 2 expansion ones. The honeybee one says, let me get to the right page on that one. There it is. That is the bee player power lets you move the bee anywhere as your second action by discarding a honey instead of a card and a honey, and then performing a bee action. That's kind of nice too. And the last one is, it's a cow's opinion. It's, you know what? That might get old. I don't care. It's my show. I find it amusing. Ergo, you're going to have to listen to it. Somebody's feeling salty today. It's Jess. All right, the cow player power one is, it's the methane player power. You may, but are not required to, treat any cloud containing 2 or more methane as if you have presence in that cloud. Well, there you go. Those are all the player powers. So the ones that I'm leaning towards, I like the frost one. I like the harvest one. I like the bee one if we are going to take bee actions. And also being able to play a single card as a sun action is also really, really nice. Now, that's not to discount the other ones, but those are the ones I'm leaning towards. And I think maybe the Harvest? Meh. I think it's going to be one of these two. So, Frost or Harvest, you guys choose. I'll have some tea in the meantime while you guys decide. Yeah, I feel all right about that. And while you guys are deciding, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle up the other deck. I will say, having them sleeved makes them shuffling a whole lot easier. How's everybody doing today, by the way? Happy Sunday. It was going to be a family day for us, but life happens. It's all right. You guys are worth it. I think so. I feel like Kelly is just focused on the fox part here. Just saying. Well, right now we have Tiny Fox, we have Harvest, and So Cute. Come on, guys. Y'all can do better than that. Frost, let the others go. All right, tiny cute fox it is. You have won, Kelly and Asbjorn. So we're going to choose that one. The others go away. Now, in a multiplayer, you know what? I don't care. We're not messing with the multiplayer. So your guys' job now is to remind me that we have this in our game, because I'm probably going to forget that now. Okay? All right? All right. All right, well, good. Frost it is. All right, excellent. Wow, that is really bad. Let's try and, there we go. Not make it so white so it's glared out. I'm going to try my best here to go ahead and get the cards organized that's in our hand. All right, so there is our hand of cards there, okay? Now we also, now that I have shuffled these, I will go ahead. Oh, I need to bring up the camera and stuff. Hey, there we go. Hey, guys. All right. All right. There we go. And there. So we're going to deal out 3 of these to us. So there's 3. We'll put them right there. All the others out of the game. So I will hand these to my off-camera assistant. All right, thank you. All right, good. Yeah, that works for that. All right, so let's take a look at what those were that we drew. We have number 3, number 5, and number 19. All right, well, let's look at what those are. Number 3, before the harvest, it says, during this harvest, count all drops in all clouds as if they were on tiles. This can cause growing changes to occur. Do not remove drops from the clouds at the end of the harvest. Oh, sick. That is really nice. I like that. And by the way, it has a little dot down here on the harvest. It's real tiny to see, but it's clear in person. But just to let you know, that's when you know that it is available to be used. So during the harvest. This one, card number 5 says beginning of the weather phase. So in other words, at the beginning of phase 3, it says add 1 vote to any weather space on the main board. That's pretty awesome because that will help us gain victory points potentially away from the hated green AI player. All right. And now card number 19, a moment on that one while I look that up because that is out of the cow expansion. Oh, I know I printed it off. Where is it? I think Jess is hiding it from me. Aha, she is. I have found it. All right. So that one says play as your turn. Move the climate marker one space in either direction on the climate track, but you do not resolve the climate event. Okay. All right. So basically, just move the climate marker one space up or down, the end. That's it. However, we got dealt 3 of these, right? We're only allowed to use 2 because once we have played the second one out of our hand, the third one gets discarded as well. So you actually have 3, but you can only play 2 of them. All right? So I'm definitely going to be using this one as the harvest one, and potentially that. So we'll see how it goes. All right? So what I think I will do with these bad boys is, since these are ours, and even though it has real pretty art, we're just going to do like this. We're going to do like that. And there. So as a quick reminder that we have those. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I have all this space over here. Let's go ahead. And that is our permanent rule breaker here. And you know what? It makes more sense to put it down underneath the clouds, because that's where we're going to be using it. There we go. All right, so we'll keep the draw deck here. We're good to go on that. I think we're ready to start. We have our hand of cards. Let's rock and roll, shall we? All right, let's move that stuff out of the way. And so, one last thing, and then we'll go. Lucas says, I'm here for some quality man yells at cloud content. Have I come to the right place? As a matter of fact, you have, good sir. You absolutely have. So, yeah, neutral player starts. Okay. Just making sure I didn't have it in the wrong order. Here we go. Drum roll, please. First Southern Wind card. We have card number 10, which is from the Bees expansion. I'm going to cheat. I'm totally going to cheat. I have all the little rule books all around just to make sure that I don't mess any of these up. All right, so here we go. When drawn, the new solo cards have the following actions. All right, this one, it's either if the neutral player has no drops left in the supply, don't worry about that. Move the bee to the highest number tile where it currently is not currently present. That either the neutral player does not have the majority of drops on, which would be this one because no drops there, or the neutral player has a majority on, but the tile is not yet sprouting and developed. So still would be that one. So we're going to move the bee onto the watermelon tile. Boom, done. Remove all dormant pollen tokens from the tile, discard them to the supply. So that pollen tile goes back to the supply. If the tile is a honey-producing tile and not already at the germinated pollen limit, place a germinated pollen token from the supply onto the tile. It is a honey-producing one, so in other words, just flip that tile back over. There we go. Germinated. That's the word I couldn't think of earlier. All right. Then collect honey and apply voting as indicated on the card. So this one, as you can see right here, has 2 little honey markers on it. So that means he gets 2 honey. So we're going to use the big honey as 5s. So he now has 5 honey. Ah, sugar, sugar, dun, 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 dun. You are my candy girl. All right. Anyway, all right. So that's his turn. Boom, done. We're going to discard this card. Now, there is one of the cards that says strictly as a reshuffle. So you take all the discards along with any cards that are left in the deck, whatever, you make a new draw deck and then you begin anew. Pretty simple. So I'm just going to keep it from being cluttered, move that off the screen. So 5 honey and 1 methane. It is now our turn. Okay. So let's go over what the 5 available actions are in the game of Petrichor with a million expansions. All right, so the first one that we'll go over is the frost action. That's this symbol right here. It says create a light cloud, in other words, create a cloud, place one of your drops in it and place it on a field without a cloud. Okay, well there are 3 fields already with clouds out there, or with clouds out on the board. So we could either do that here, here, or here. When we do so though, remember our special ability here says we can actually do that. We can add 2 drops. So nice, but it has to be on a place that doesn't already have clouds. Okay. The second action available to us is the sun action, that is these cards over here. The sun action says add 2 of your drops into a cloud that you're already present in. So if I were to play a sun card, I could add 2 drops to that one since I already have a drop in there. Easy enough. Okay. We'll keep moving on and then I'll go into a little bit more detail after that. The third option I don't have. I didn't draw any wind cards. But the wind looks like the wind right there. And the wind says, move a cloud you are present in to an adjacent space. So the only one that I could do is this one and adjacent. Everything in this game is orthogonally adjacent, meaning to that one or to that one. Now, when I were to do that, when clouds merge, they become thunderclouds. You empty everything from one cloud into the other cloud and you add a little lightning bolt to it to signify that it is a thundercloud. Why that matters, I will explain later when we get there. The fourth of the 5 options available to us is rain. Okay, so that one says rain any one drop from up to 2 clouds you are present in. Okay, so in other words, I take it from the cloud and rain it down onto the soil like so. From any 2 clouds. Well, that's probably not a great choice to begin with because we only have one that we're in. And the last one that we have as an option are the cards. And those are the grazing actions. I want to make sure I get this right. And there are 2 options whenever you play a card. The first one is time heals. Pick a cloud that you have at least 1 water drop in, take all the methane from it and add it to your supply. So that's how you're going to get methane. Methane always stays in the clouds as it were. And if there is ever just methane in the cloud, that's okay. Methane does count as a water drop as far as raining down, as well as for turning something into a thundercloud. When there are 4 or more drops in a cloud, it becomes a thundercloud automatically. And by drops, I mean our water drops, the AI's water drops, or methane. And once it gets 8 or more, everything rains down onto the soil. So it rains, emptying the cloud, except for the methane. The methane stays in the cloud, even if it's by itself. So, time heals, play a cow card, take all the methane from a cloud that you have water drops in. All right? All right. The second option is nature's call, which is exactly what you would think it is. Okay? Pick a cow in the field, add 2 methane to a cloud, either above the cloud, above the cow's tile, or to an adjacent, your choice. So in this case, there, or there, because that's where the cow is. All right? Then, if there isn't a cloud, obviously you add a cloud. Then, after that, there we go. You're going to add 1 fertilizer from the supply, i.e. the cow relieves itself, like so, but the cow doesn't want to hang out. There's a term that we used in the Marine Corps, don't excrement where you live or where you work type things. So the cow doesn't want to hang out where he has done his business. So the cow will move to an adjacent tile, there or there. That doesn't already contain another cow. Again, in a solo game, it's only going to be 1 cow. And then vote for harvest, and then you vote. So voting, after that, after every action that you take, we're going to vote. A vote means we're either going to place one of our markers out on an associated action. I say an associated action, that means it's either going to be the action that we took, so the sun, for instance, or the one that is clockwise from that. Those are always your only two options for placing one of your vote markers. So if I played a sun card, I could place one there, or I could place one into the wind area. Or I can lower the number of vote markers that are on here from one of the dice unless it's already at a harvest. If it's at a harvest, you can't reduce it anymore. So in that case, I would drop it to that, and then I would score 1 point. If it was already at that symbol and I move it down to the harvest, then you would get 2 points. And then when all of them have the harvest icon on it, that means, hey, we're going to have a harvest phase. Okay, so there we go. So it's our turn. What are we going to do? We need clouds out there. Okay, so let's go ahead and play a frost card to go ahead and get started. All right, so the first action we're going to do is, and I'll go ahead and put my discards up here whenever I play cards. Yeah, better yet, you know what? I only do this a few times in the game. So how about we put the deck up there and the cards I play down here. There we go. So we're going to take the frost action. We're going to create a light cloud and place one of our drops in it and place it in a field without a cloud, except in our case, we're going to place 2 drops. Okay, so we will grab a cloud. We have 3 options. I actually like the blueberry spot, so I will take 2 drops. 1, 2, boom, done. That is that action. Now I need to vote. What do I vote? I either vote for frost or I vote for sun. And I should briefly go over what those are when we get to the weather phase. Whatever has the most votes, we're going to do 2 of those, all right? Then whoever has the most votes in there is going to advance, and this will be some amount of endgame scoring. So having votes out here is going to be really, really important for us. We want, if tied, nobody advances. So we want to make sure that we have more votes than the AI. So let's go ahead and start talking about what these are. We'll start with the frost one. The frost one says all light clouds become thunder clouds. So in other words, even if it doesn't have 4 drops and methane, we're just going to add that and it becomes a thunder cloud. That'll matter here, or you'll understand why here in a minute. The sun one then from there is in turn order. Choose 1 cloud and double your drops. Nice. And if coffee were in play, it may develop, but it's not, so we're not going to talk about it. So double the amount of drops. Go from 2 to 4 or 4 to 8. If 3, 6, etc., etc. That's nice. Then the next one is wind. In reverse turn order, move any 1 drop from a field to an adjacent field. Again, adjacent is orthogonal. So once there are drops out here on the tiles themselves, you can move a drop. Does not have to be yours, could be an opponent's. And finally, there is the rain phase. All thunderclouds rain. And then if there were rice out here, it may develop, but there's no rice, so we're not going to cover that. All thunderclouds rain. So in other words, anything that has lightning bolt in it just pours down onto the tile. And that's going to matter because there are a certain number of raindrops that each of these tiles need to be able to sprout. That's the term. When they have sprouted, they will then score based on who has the most points, first, second, third, and fourth, first and second in the solo game, obviously, provided it is sprouted. That only happens during a harvest phase. So you need the water to be wet because plants need water to grow. There we go. So, all of that said, what do we want to vote on? Or we could make it closer to a harvest. I'll be honest, we are not ready for a harvest because we have no points out here yet because we have no water droplets down on the tiles. So our options are to turn all light clouds into thunder clouds, or here to double the amount of drops. I kind of like that, and we don't have a dog in a fight right now, so I think we'll go ahead and vote for that. Boom, done. That is that action. Now, I have a choice at this point. I could either play 2 more cards, basically a 2-for-1, meaning I could play 2 rain now to do the rain action. I could play 2 sun, or I could play, say, a frost card and 2 other cards to then become a wild, if you will, which would be potentially a frost card. So I would actually be playing 3 cards. Well, we only have 9. Keep that in mind, okay? Have a good one, Robert. All right. So that's one option, okay? Another option is with the honeybee expansion, we can, let me make sure I get this right, all right, play a card and discard a card, right. And then unless you're spending honey to move anywhere, to move the bee, then take the bee action. And the bee action does one of a couple things. Let me go back and make sure I get this right. All right, so you can do one of 3 things. Collect all the dormant pollen from the tile that the bee is on. So in other words, if there is any, wherever the bee, say the bee were there, that would be if there were multiple dormant pollen, I would take all of that and add it to my supply. But there isn't any, so nope. Okay, you have a max supply of 4 of dormant pollen. If there were more, let's say there were 2 on the tile and I had 3 already here, I could only take 1, 1 would remain. So that would be option number 1. I could spend a honey, remember, to move the bee, okay? Second option is I could discard up to 2 pollen tokens from my supply, and then for every pollen discarded, place a water drop from my supply directly onto the tile. So basically like a little mini rain shower, okay? And if you place drops on a honey producing tile and there are still not enough germinated pollen on there, you would add a germinated pollen. Just 1. No, for every tile that you discarded to be able to do so. So if I discarded 2, then I would add 2 to it. Okay, easy enough. Or I just take that amount of honey as shown on the tile itself. So those are the 3 options I could do with the honey, with the bee action, with the bee expansion in the game. Try that again. Discard a card, and if I wish, spend a honey to move the bee, okay, anywhere, and then take one of those bee actions. Or I could do the grazing action with the cow. Ugh, so many options. I think honestly at this point, I don't want to spend the extra cards, so I'm done. That's it. That's the end of my action. All right. So now, let me make sure of something real quick. Yeah, so I'm done. So now the AI is going to take their turn again. So here we go. Flip that over. And that is one of the cow cards. All right, so let's go ahead and get these going. So that is card number 14, which is going to be a time heals card for the AI. We're going to roll the die, remove all methane from the closest cloud containing any of the neutral player's water drops. Add them to the neutral player's personal reserve. Remove all the methane. So we'll roll. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The closest one that contains their drop, because orthogonally, is going to be this one. The methane is going to be removed and added to their supply. Move the cow to the tile beneath the cloud. If it's already there, don't bother moving it because you can't. There we go. Done. And the neutral player places 1 vote It votes on harvest if possible. If not, it votes in the weather with the fewest votes. Clockwise from frost if tied. All right, so in other words, this is going to go from 2 to 1 and going to score a point because just like when a regular player does it, they score a point for getting it closer to the harvest. And their turn is now done. So that's what that represented. All right, good. Hey, Kabuki Kid. Hey, Jeroen. What's up, Rocky? All you guys. All right, good. All right, so now it's our turn. And you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to start. Only costs 1 card, and that's why I didn't want to take the additional action because it only costs 1 card here. So I will go ahead and add. It's going to drop 3. It's going to make it cold. Yeah, I think I will put it right there with both of my drops. Done. So now, do we want to take another action? That would be 4. That would drop 1. That's okay. Well, we need to vote first. So I am not going to push this down to a harvest yet. I will let the game take their point if they want it. So I will either do frost or sun. And I really like the idea of making sure we double. So I will go there. So that card's done. So now the question is, do I play another action? Yeah, I think I will actually. I'm going to do the rain action now. So I'm going to take those 2 cards so I don't have to spend a 3rd card. And I will take the rain action. And the rain action says rain any 1 drop from up to 2 clouds that you're present in. And, ooh, but that's going to double it. So hold on, maybe I don't yet. You know what? No, actually I won't do that. Check that. Channeling my inner Rado. Done. That's it. Game's turn. All right. AI plays card number 3. It's just easier if I look them all up, make sure I don't mess that up. So, all right, card number 3. Remove 1 player drop from a tile. Remove 1 of your drops from the selected tile and return it to your supply. We're going to have to roll the die for this. Then check for the crop drying out. If you have no drops on a tile, it's not a valid target. Remove a drop from a tile. Well, if you look at this, I have no drops on any tiles, so there's not going to be any valid target. So if there is not a valid target, I believe he scores. If there are no valid targets, do nothing in the fields and advance the neutral player by 1 point on the victory point track instead. If an action requires the neutral player to place water when it had none, okay, so he's just going to score a point instead. Then at the bottom of the card, place as many neutral votes as there are matching weather spaces. So there, he's going to, not mine. Sorry, I'm trying to cheat. 1 onto there, boom, done. Okay, done. I don't know, Jeroen, but priorities. All right, so now it's back to our turn. Now the question is, do I want to make it rain? Or better yet, I need to add methane. I know I need that, but I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and play the sun card, which says add 2 drops in a cloud that you're present in. So I will add 2. Oh, there's so much I want to do here. And you know what? I will go ahead and add 2 into that. So now there's 3 up there. Then I need to vote. And I will go ahead and put 1 on the wind, since I already have a pretty good lead there on the sun. And I'm still not ready to push it towards a harvest, so I'm done. There. Now the question is, do I make it rain? Oh, and you know what? Actually, as soon as that happened, we now have... Can you guys see if it's standing? No, you cannot. So we will do like that. There we go. It's now a thundercloud because there are 3 drops and a methane in there. So now that that's the case, I kind of want to make sure that it stays warmer for that tile there potentially to be able to score for me in a bit. So if that's the case, yeah, I think I will go ahead and play both of my cow cards here to go ahead and do a nature's cow. Oh, but if I do both, then I don't have a cow. Damn it. Nope. Single action only. That's it. Done. All right. Card number 2. Place 2 drops on a tile. Take 2 neutral drops from a supply, put them directly on the selected tile. So we're going to roll 1 through 6. 6. So he's going to put 2 of his drops down here on the on the watermelon. Directly onto the tile. It's not growing yet because it needs 4 drops, so there's only 2. So okay, done. And then he's going to add 2 of his votes onto the rain. Stop that. On the one hand, all thunderclouds rain if that's one of the 2 leading, which we want to do if we are in a position to score. We're not yet, but that's good to know, and it's something we're going to work towards. Done. So our turn. Now we will play a single cow, and we will do nature's call. And because the cow is here, you can either choose where the cow is or an adjacent tile to add 2 methane. And you know what? Let's go ahead and add it to that one. So that's now 6 things in that cloud. 8 is when it rains down. All right? So that's done. And then you must do a harvest if you can with this card. If not, then you can choose any of the available weather. But as it is, I must choose that if available. Boom, there, 1, and that's done. That means at the end or during the first, when we get to the harvest phase, there will be a harvest because they're all harvest dice now. So now that that has happened, oh, there's so much I need to do right now. I need to be able to move the bee. I want to be able to pollinate. I need it to rain. I'm going to keep doing single actions here, all right? Yeah, I'm done. So now the game goes. The game does card number 4, create a new cloud with 2 drops. And then he's, just so I don't forget, he's going to vote 2 on the frost. Can you, good Lord. When he votes quick, doesn't he? All right, so let's roll and see. If the tile already has a cloud, it's not a valid. So in other words, literally, it's only going to be 6. So here, I'm going to roll. There, it's a 6. So, because literally, it's the only one that can. There, on top of the B. There we go. You guys can still see that. So there are 2 in the cloud, 2 on the tile. Okay? Oh, 2 points. You're right, because I flipped to the harvest. Good call. Thank you, sir. All right, done. All right, our turn. I want to harvest that methane, but if I do, then that screws up my plan. Oh, there's... I'm going to go ahead and play the sun card. And that's going to add 2 drops into any one cloud that I'm present in. And I am so conflicted right now. So I could put them here on the wheat cloud. If I do, that will put it at 8. That means it rains down, and I would be in line to score 4 points and a wheat token. Whoever has the most wheat tokens at the end of the game scores 10 points. That's important. Whoever has the most honey at the end of the game scores 10 points. You get all of these additional points here, and then whatever points you've scored at the end or during the game. Yeah, I know. I need to move the bee up to here to pollinate that, and especially this one as well, to be able to get me 3 honey. So I could make a case to put it here because I need 4 in here to be able to sprout that one. So I'm leaning towards there or the wheat. Getting wheat early is really nice. Oh, it's this one. I don't have, actually, hold on. I don't have to pollinate this one. That's right. I don't. And the weather phase happens before the harvest phase. And that's going to be worth potentially 8 points right now. That's worth 4 and potentially 10 more. So 14. Let's go ahead and put them there, though. So that now becomes a thundercloud. I'm not sure if that was a mistake, but we'll see if that ends up being the right choice. So now we need to vote sun or wind. And I definitely want sun to happen, which doubles things. So we're going to go ahead and put a third one onto sun. That card goes away. If I made it rain, it could be there, but I don't know. I'm going to keep milking this. See, cow expansion, milking it, get it? So, I'm done. Wow, I am really making this game go slow. Intentionally, though. All right, that is a Nature's Call card. There are 2 of these in the deck, as opposed to only 1 of the time heals from the cow expansion. All right. So now it says add 2 methane to the cloud above the tile closest to the cow's current tile. But you roll. So the way we have interpreted this, and I'm sure the Davids will clarify this, is if I roll a 1, a 2, or a 4, then those are going to be the tiles that this happens on. If not, it will be wherever the cow is. So here we go. So 5, so it'll be where the cow is. Add 2 methane to the cloud where the cow is in that case. So we're going to add 2 there. Then add a fertilizer from the supply to the cow's tile. So we will grab a fertilizer. So that's going to be another. And I do not believe there's a limit on how many fertilizer can be on a given tile, because they all go away once it's harvested. Hey, Kushigra. All right. So that's done. And then roll the die to move the cow to the closest adjacent tile. He just defecated, so I think I said, yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. He just went to the restroom, so he's going to move. Either going to move here or going to move there. So 5, it's down, so we're going to go ahead and assume that is down here. So the cow is going to go ahead there. Done. By the way, we also, where do I have those? Oh yeah. You guys have ordered takeout delivery pizza, right? I'm sure. And you have the little stands. You can do something like that. And I believe the Kickstarter has the deluxe edition has it. You guys can't appreciate the fact that that's now 3D, but it is. So that's kind of cool. So I'll leave it there wherever the cow is. All right, done. And then on top of that, after Nature's Call, he's going to place 2 votes on the weather with the fewest votes clockwise from Frost. So obviously the fewest votes is going to be here. The weather with the fewest votes, not that he has, but that, or she has, as it were, but the fewest votes in general. And then a harvest. If not, vote on the weather with the fewest votes, starting from Frost. So 3, 3, 2, so it puts another one there. There we go. That card's done. So you can see that the AI actually is pretty svelte. It runs pretty smoothly. All right. All right. So now it's our turn. Oh, there's so much I need to do. All right. Action number 1 is we're going to make it rain. Rain 1 drop from up to 2 clouds you're present in. Any drop. But I have to be present, right? So I will go ahead and put 1 there. And I will put 1 there. And then either the rain or the frost vote. Whew. This is tough. I think we go there. I think so. I think so. All right. Okay. Now, for my second action, I am going to take my second action, and the B action can only be your second action. So I have to discard a card. I'll discard one of my rain cards to move the B. And to do the action, and I have to discard a honey. So now, let me make sure that I get this part right. All right. So move the B to any tile, including the one that it's currently on. Whoop. And now we need another one of the stands, because the B is going to come hang out right there on the blueberries. Okay, so now I cannot discard up to 2 pollen tokens from my personal supply. However, I can collect all the dominant or dormant pollen tokens there, up to a total of 4. So I could take that one. You know what? Let me check that. I'm going to actually move the bee here. So the bee, the cow, everybody is over there. And I'm actually going to take that pollen and add it to my supply. There we go. Done. That's both my actions. And whenever you take you have to vote. Let me see. Check that. I do not vote on the B one. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. Oh, I got to get down to that cloud too. Oof. Oh, wow. 4 to 3. Oh, that's bad. That's only 4 points. That's okay. All right, I'm just looking at how he's going to score on the watermelon tile. All right, I'm done. So his turn. All right, that's card number 7. Move a mixed cloud northwest. There are no mixed clouds. So there's no valid target, so he gets a point. So he's not going to do that. Done. And then he adds 2 votes onto wind. Will you stop that? Dude. So 5, 3, 3, 3, but at least I get to choose which one. And wow, I really wanted sun and rain. Oh. Don't anybody spoil it. Just saying, don't anybody spoil the marble races. All right, so he's done. Our turn. Oh, there is so much I need to do right now. I think this is going to be our last turn. It's not going to quite work out how I wanted it to, but we need honey. There's so much we need. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and play the rain card, and we're going to rain on 2 clouds. So it's going to be 1 there, and that cloud goes away because it's now empty. And we will have it rain there as well. And then we need to vote. I think it's pretty obvious we're going to go there. Okay. And then for our final action, we only have 1 card left. There's so much I want to do that I can't, but I'm going to discard this card and discard a honey to be able to move the bee. Oh no, I need a 3rd action, son of a... Oh, that's not working. Hold on. Because I forget when I do the bee action, I can either take that or discard 2 to pollinate or germinate. Oh, that's frustrating. I totally misdid that. That's okay. It's okay. Let's go ahead and take it anyways. All right. That's all right. It's okay. We're done. Game's turn. All right. There's the honeybee one. Let's go to the solo for that one. All right. When drawn, here we go. If the neutral player has no drops left, they do, so skip that. Move the bee to the highest numbered tile where it's not currently present, and it doesn't have the majority of drops on it. Or has the majority on, but the tile is not yet sprouted or developed. So let's see. Move the bee to the highest numbered tile where it is not currently present. So, present, currently not present. He's in the cloud, but he's not on the tile. That does not have the majority of drops, or that the neutral player has the majority on, but not yet sprouted. So I would argue it's this one. So the bee is going to come on down over to here. Remove all the dormant pollen tokens. If a tile is a honey producing tile, it is not. So we're going to remove that. Place 2 drops from the neutral player supply directly onto the tile. That sucks. Because it's now sprouted. So that little green token there means that tile is going to score. And right now, I think that is the only one as of right now. Yes, because there are 2 on it. So good to go, there are 2. There are 2 here, but it needs 4 on that one. All right, hey Lars. All right, then he's going to do those 2 things, which is decrease a harvest die and place a vote on the weather with the fewest votes. So he's going to do that twice. What has the fewest votes? So that would be 3 and 3. There we go. So now it's 4, 4, 4, 5. Done. So now it is our turn, and we're going to pass. So now when we pass, that's the end of the round. So, all right. So now I want to make sure that I get this right for the next part. Climate phase. Count the number of methane in the clouds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 methane by my count. Okay? So 6 methane says the weather's going to move up 1. And then whoever has the most methane, so the game has 2, I have 0, going to score 2 points. And it cheats. Okay, so there's that. And also, I believe that he has to be discarded down to 1. Yep. So he can keep a max of 1 at the end of the round, which we're, you know what? I probably ought to do that at the end of the round. Check that. All right. So that is the climate phase. Easy enough. The third phase is the weather phase. The 2 weather spaces with the most votes. And if tied, I get to choose. They take effect in the following order. All right. So the 2 effects in this, oh boy. So here's the conundrum, right? I would be able to advance if I choose sun because I have more votes on that. However, sun doubles the number of, oh, actually that might work. I don't know that I need anything to rain. Ooh, I like that, I think. Yeah, I think we're going to do the sun. So we're going to do this one. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this on what one we're activating. So there. So we're going to do the sun one. In turn order, choose 1 cloud and double your drops. And for the AI, I want to make sure that I get this right. So I know what one I'm doing. Neutral player first doubles its presence in all clouds. Then you double your drops in one of them. If the neutral player does not have enough water drops, it doubles the ones in higher number positions first, meaning here, then there, then there, then there, etc. So he does have enough. So, oh boy. I think that's okay though. Yeah, I think that's going to be all right. So 2 in there, that becomes a thundercloud. 1 in there, that's only 3 including the methane. Don't need to worry about that. And 1 there, that means there's 4 there including the methane. That becomes a thundercloud. Okay, then I get to double in 1 cloud. And I'm going to go ahead and throw 3 into there. That is clearly more than 8. So I only have 1 hand, so bear with me. The methane will stay in there, but all of that will rain on down. And now, that has now sprouted because there are at least 3 drops on that. All right. Good. I'm happy with that. So that was the sun one. And I'm going to advance up here because I have more votes. Then, those will clear off of that one. Wrong dish. Done. All right. So the next one clearly is going to be that one. He's going to advance so I don't forget. And this one's going to clear off. And that is the wind. After resolving your wind weather effect, which is still moving any 1 drop to an adjacent tile, check each of the tiles P3, 4, 5, and 6. In order. On each checked tile, if there's at least 1 of your drops on it, move 1 of your drops from the tile to the tile adjacent to the north. So in other words, slide one up. So the wind effect for me is move one drop from a field to an adjacent field. Oh, hot damn. I think that works out really well for me in hindsight. I'm going to move one drop, and it doesn't have to be mine, but I'm going to move that to an adjacent field. Done. No sprouting points yet, Vincent. When we get to the harvest phase, we'll get those. So now, on each check tile, tiles 3 through 6, if there's at least one of your drops on it, move one of your drops from that tile north. So this one doesn't sprout because it's not pollinated or germinated, so that will move up. That will move up. And oh, hey, looky there. That now sprouted. So done, done. One of my drops, no. One of my drops, no. Done. That'll do, pig. That'll do. All right. So now that the harvest phase is done, we move into the fourth phase, the harvest phase. If all three dice show a harvest phase, have a harvest phase. It does. Checks out. Let's do a harvest phase, shall we? All right, here we go. Score based on the relative number of water drops each player has on the field. Okay, that is sprouted. All right, so we'll just do it in the order in which this goes here. Let me see. No. All right, I will double back to that stuff. So we'll score first. There are clearly 3 drops here. So whoever's in first will score 2 points and a wheat tile. So I get a wheat, and 2 points. However, there is the pasture tile, which says whoever's in first will score an additional 2 points on that. Don't mind if I do. Excuse me, Jess. Thank you. And that's it. That tile is done. All right. And at that point, everything basically comes off the tile. Not everything. That goes away, and the drops go away. But they did their job. So there and there. In addition to that, because we are playing with the honeybees, add a dormant pollen to every field, period. Except for the lake and the anthill. And there's other stuff for the flowers expansion, which we don't have any of those tiles in play, so we don't need to worry about that part. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's every tile and not just the harvested tiles, but I will double check that. So that stays there. That one has scored. This one now, let me go ahead and move that out of the way. This is the cactus that you guys can see there. If it has 2 or 3 water drops on it, it scores the top row. However, if it has 4 or more, it's drowning. Cactus don't need and don't want that much water, so it scores less. So that's bad. But oh, hey, would you looky here? There's only 2 on there. So the AI doesn't have any there, so I'm scoring 6 points there, and then whoever's in first will score those as well, so that'll be 8 points all day. Those go away now, and that goes away, and that goes away, and that will go there, and that'll be 8 points to 14. Thank you much. No sprout icon, no sprout icon, sprout icon. All right. So here, we'll go ahead and add one there. And there are 2 water. Yep, it has the sprout icon, so he's going to get a total of 5 points for that one. So these will go away, and the game will score 5. Done. And now, there is a germinated pollen token on that, but there must be at least 4 water drops. If there are, whoever's in first scores 4 points per germinated pollen out there. Second place scores 2 per, etc., etc. Done. So that's it. Now the only thing I need to look up, double check, is on the honeybees, whether or not that is every tile or just the scored ones. So a moment during harvest. Every tile. Okay. So let's see. We did not score this one. We did not score that one. We did not score that one. So there we go. Excellent. All right. That is the harvest phase. Any questions on that? No? Good. All right. Moving on. And we there we go. Move the cow back over. Move that there. There we go. All right, cleanup phase. Advance the round marker. If all 3 harvest dice show harvest, re-roll. Otherwise, only re-roll the non-harvest show or the harvest showing dice. There we go. Well, gonna be a minute till we have another harvest. It looks like, and I'm gonna deal 9 cards to yours truly. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Done. All right. Let me go ahead and organize the cards here real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. Is everything making sense? Are you guys able to follow along? I hope. There's a lot going on, but it actually becomes fairly intuitive once you get going as far as the various expansions and everything. So it's not perfectly neat, but let's see if that works. That'll somewhat do. Move those over. There we go. There's our 9 cards. That's our hand, this hand. All right, this round. Oh yeah, thank you. I need to remove the spreading token from there. Good call. All right, cool. Cool, daddy-o, cool. All right, and now we do it again. So the game begins. So should have discarded that. We did not get the reshuffle card, so we do not reshuffle yet. All right. And we have card numero uno. There we go. Place a drop on a tile. Easy enough. Can it die? That's a 1. Place a drop. You know what? I'm tired of messing with those. There we go. On a tile. Stop that. Stop that. All right. So he's done. Then he's going to add 1 vote to the rain there. And notice the ones that we did not do not clear there. And then he's going to lower a harvest die, and he will always try and turn 1 there to score the max points. And then he will drop the highest from there. Okay? Kushigura says, I would have backed this all in, but I'm on a purchasing moratorium for the rest of the year. Understandable. I hear you. I think they would understand that, especially given the world situation. However, Kushigura, just saying, you could let them know. Oh, wow. Mom and Dad are both environmental science field. I'm just saying, I think you ought to buy a copy for them. Just saying. But you should definitely let them know that you feel that way after the playthrough. Just saying. All right, cool. Here we go. So his turn. Done. Our turn. What do we want to do? So we have a couple of pollen here to be able to then seed this one there. But I need some sun and I only have one of those. I'm sorry, frost. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and start with the frost action. So the frost action, again, it's going to, for us, going to add 2 drops. Go ahead and do that. So 2 drops into a cloud. There's only one available right there. I want to be able to get that honey faux show, which is going to be 3 honey for first place when there's a harvest. Going to be a minute till we get a harvest, all right? No. Kelly asks, does the watermelon tiles points depend on dormant or germination side? No. Yeah, you know what? I might be lying to you, Kelly. Nobody likes a liar. That's the honeybee one. A moment. There it is. You know my favorite thing about the Kickstarter that's going on? It's all going to be in one rule book. That makes me happy. All right, so the watermelon, up to 4 germinated pollen tokens on it, and it scores 4 times the number of germinated pollen tiles on it. So there you go. Yes, it does. So right now it's only 4 points, but yes, I'm working on it. All right, so we did that. We need to vote. And man, it's really hard to fight against that. So I think we go ahead and go there for that action. So that's action number 1. Do I want to take another action early? That's a lot of methane up there. No, I guess I didn't talk about what the point of methane is for everybody. You can spend methane from your personal reserve. When you take the rain action, you can spend a methane to rain 2 water drops each from 2 different clouds. And when you would play multiple cards that take a single action, whether it's the first or the second action on your turn, you can spend 2 methane in place of one of the required cards. So that's the whole point of the methane. Man, I want to harvest that methane pretty bad. Oh, but I got to have water drops in it. That's right, that's right, that's right. Oh, no. So I do have wind, which will move that and then move that for that. I'm not going to do it as a second action right now, though, so I'm done. All right, AI goes. That is reshuffle. There we go. So we're going to take this, all of the discards, all of the existing there, and shuffle them up. When's the expected fulfillment? Hell if I know, whatever the Kickstarter says. Chad?
May next year.
Apparently it's May. So around HeavyCon time. Peanut Gallery, the local peanut gallery chimed in.
Many boards is historically early. They're good like that.
So little birdie told me it might be early. We'll see. All right, so I'm shuffling their deck and I'm reading chat here. Weathered says, I back the give me everything I don't have pledge. But I'm kind of salty because not too long ago I tracked down all the promo cards they didn't have that are included in the Kickstarter. I mean, we've all been there, Weathered. Let's face it, right? All right. Y'all want to cut? All right, here you go. There's your cut. Because I know y'all are on Jess's side right now, let's face it. So, let's go ahead and move that stuff up. Here we go. All right, what do we have here? Card number 2. Drop 2 tiles on a tile. All right, here we go. Let's find a tile, a valid tile. That is, it's not really canted. Tile number 1, which that is not valid. So give me a second. Apply it in next position, right? Circling downwards. So we start at tile 1. And this is to place 2 drops on a tile. He can't do that, but he can do it here at 2. Ooh, hold on. This is card number 2. Oh, from the supply? Oh, come on. You suck, dude. Really? Really? All right. That has sprouted. Well, I'm not going to abide by that. I'm going to make sure that that floods because I'm going to drown that cacti. I love cactus, succulents, but yeah, no, sorry, that's not going to abide. All right. And then 2 more votes on the rain. I guess it's going to rain. I was going to try and fight for that one too, but now he has a 5-2 lead. That's gross. Because 2 there. Ugh. Done. Gross. All right. That's his turn. Oh, boy. Oh, here's an interesting question now. A moment. Aha. Okay. Here's an important, not really an edge case. This is going to come up relatively often, I think. Notice this cloud up here. This cloud only has methane in it. It counts for adding, the methane counts for determining the total number of water drops that are in a cloud. So there are technically 3 water drops if there are other water drops in there, right? So it would add 3 to that for creating a thundercloud, overflowing, etc. once we hit 8. However, for the frost action, it's as if there isn't a cloud. So I could spend 2 cards as a frost action right now. And I think I might. Oh, it's gross, though, the fact that I drew only... Oh. So I think I'm going to take one of the cow cards, and I'm going to take one of the rain cards. And these are essentially combined to make any one card that I wish to make it. I think... Yeah, since I don't have any methane, yeah. This is going to become a frost card. So I'm going to play both of these cards together as a frost card. And I'm going to go ahead and add 2 drops because of our special. So now that technically has 5 drops, which means it's a thundercloud. All right. So then I need to vote just like normal. And I'm not in a position yet to want to harvest. So with it being a frost, it could be here or the sun, just like normal, and we'll go ahead and throw it onto the sun for doubling again. And I'm not going to take an additional action because that already cost me a bunch of cards, so I am done. All right, so that is card number 14, which is Time Heals. Remove all methane from the closest cloud containing any neutral player's water drops and add them to the neutral player's reserve, which, by the way, I should have removed one of these already. So that's cloud 2. All right. So that is remove all methane from the cloud and add it to their personal reserve. So 1 and 2. They now have 3 methane here. Great. Move the cow if it's not already there. So the cow comes on up. Moves up there. and places a vote on harvest. So that 4 will drop down to a 3, and they will score 1 point. Done. Okay. What the hell are we trying to do? I really wanted that methane. That was the whole point of doing that, right? So let's go ahead and do a time heals action. Pick a cloud where I have at least 1 water drop, that one, and take all the methane. Okay. So that'll be 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? All right. Done. And I have to drop one of these down to a 2, and that'll be a point because that's what you do with it. All right. Not going to do a second action. I'm done. There. Oh, card number 13 now. Nature's Call. Roll a die. Add 2 methane to a cloud. So a 1, a 4, or it's going on there. Okay, 4. So 2 methane in there from the supply. Add a fertilizer, and then move the cow to the closest adjacent tile. The cow must move. All right, so we will add a fertilizer. So there, that's going to be worth potentially 9 points now. And the cow will move. He will over to there. There we go. I have no idea, David. That's a question for Jess. Will the big box with the trays insert be available after the Kickstarter? I have no idea. All right. So that was that action, and I think I'm done. But now, at least, I have methane. So I can eat for the rain action or to spend 2 methane in place of a card. That's going to come in real handy, I have a feeling. So I'm done. Oh, I'm sorry. That was his turn. So now, whatever has the fewest votes and a harvest. Fewest votes would be there, and a harvest. We'll drop that down to a 2 and gain a point. Done. Now it's our turn. Okay. Apparently the trays insert won't be available in retail. Little B told me that. All right. So speaking of bees, if I move the bee up here, I would be able to germinate that. That would be good. I would be in a good position for that. But looking at our cards, I could rain 2 drops down into any. Ooh. If I were to spend a methane and I rain there and there, both of those would be ready to rock and roll then. Oh, do I want to do that though? Damn it. You know what? This is something I do need to do. I will play the sun card, and I will go ahead and add 2 drops onto any one cloud. So that'll go there. Now I'm set up for the rain action, because then I can do it there and here, and I think I'm in better shape for that. I think. We'll see how it goes. So now I need to vote. Do I want wind or sun? Let's go ahead and try and keep going there. Try and get that into first there. Not going to take a second action, his turn. Card number 7. Move a mixed cloud northwest. Somehow we still have no mixed clouds, which is kind of shocking. So therefore, it's not a valid target. So he's going to score a point. Done. And then add 2 votes onto the wind. These things spread like wildfire here. It is wind, I suppose, right? Jonathan says, so much value for the $100 pledge I just ordered. Okay, cool. I'm just saying, maybe mention to him. I would appreciate that. Even though it's not sponsored, I would appreciate it. If for no other reason, like I said, the fact that this will all be in one rule book will make my life better. And I think everybody out there will appreciate that as well. When I'm curious, so this is something that hasn't happened, is in my previous play of this, what happens when the solo player runs out of votes? That I'm not sure. Give me a moment on that. Huh. You know what? I assume it's going to be just like in the regular game, whether it's the AI or not, so that voting, if the player has no votes left in their personal supply and needs to place another, they can take one of their votes from any weather space on the board and place it on another weather space instead. So I'm going to play it as that, and that kind of defers, that makes sense. So intuitively, yeah. So they're out of votes. Okay. All right. So they're done. Now it's our turn. So now let's go ahead and make it rain. So here we go. So I will spend 1 methane to the supply, and now I can rain 2 drops on 2 spaces. So I will make it rain there, I think. Out. You know what? I lied. I'm not going to do that yet. Not going to make it rain. But I think we might... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That I think we will do, though. Yeah, instead, we're going to go ahead and let the wind blow. So these 2 are going to collide. You move 1 cloud adjacent, so I'm going to move it over there. That's now 8. So the methane will stay there. No longer a thundercloud, but there are 4 drops, and we are in the temperate climate area. So that's ready to rock and roll as well. Okay. All right, yeah. All right, so now for our vote, either wind or rain. And do I... Jonathan, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm going to take the point. Or will I? No, I won't. I lied. Throw it on the wind. But then that doesn't double. Do I need that doubled down? I don't think I do. So no, that's fine. I'm good with that. Done. All right. Do we want to take another action? That'd be 2 methane as a card and then another card. I don't think I do... Oh, we're in perfect spot for that. Nope, I don't. Done. All right, reshuffle. There we go. So we shuffle them all up, and we'll do it again. There we go. I feel like the game is poised right now for a massive scoring, but I'm trying to fight that off. I also had the B action. I can do that next turn. But I only have one drop now. But if I do the wind and then the B, and it's going to rain, that's already a thundercloud. Yeah, I like that. All right, cool. That'll work. All right. All right, so card numero 40 is create a new cloud with 2 drops. There's literally only one place it can be. Stay away from my blueberries, dude. I do not approve of that. Okay. So, and then he puts 2 votes. Okay, 2 votes on Frost. Now here's the thing. He would take 2 votes from clockwise. Okay. So now let me go through this for voting on that stuff. No, I misspoke earlier. If the neutral player does not have enough votes to place as many as possible, then advance the neutral player by 1 per missing vote on the victory point track instead. Check that. Scores 2 points. Well, screw you very much. All right, fine. Grrr. All right, so our turn. So now... Whoo-wee. So if I, yep, okay. I think I got the rest of my round planned out now. I'm going to use the wind action. So the wind is going to blow. Yeah, it's okay. I don't need any more wheat to actually come out into the game. So the wind is going to blow and combine those 2. That makes a thundercloud because they combined. And plus there's 4 there. Boom, done. So now we still have a bunch of vote tokens. And I will go ahead and vote wind again. Done. Then we will take the B action to be, wait for it, or not to be. So I will, I don't have honey. Oh, no, no, no. I will discard this card, my penultimate card. Discard any 1 card to move the B to an adjacent tile. That'll be to there. Then, discard up to 2 pollen tokens from your personal supply. So these 2. Done. For each pollen discarded, place a water drop from your supply directly onto the tile. 1, 2. Okay. If you place drops on a honey-producing tile and there are fewer germinated pollen tokens on the tile than the limit showed on the germinated pollen icon on the tile, place your spent pollen tokens onto the tile with the germinated side up. So in other words, it only needs 1. So it only gets 1. The other one's just discarded. And, oh yeah, it's ready to rock and roll now as well. Excellent. Okay. Done. Yep. And that was my second action because that was the B action. So, or the not to be. Card number 8. Move a pure cloud southeast. Move a cloud with only neutral raindrops from the selected tile. So it could be that one, or that one. That's a 3. So 1, 2, 3. Nearest there, and it counts down, so it'll be this one. Directly to the tile southeast of it. Do not move it through any orthogonally adjacent tiles on the way. If the cloud's already in the second column, move it only south. If it's already on P5, move it only east to P6. So in other words, those combined. All right, so now how many are on here? That is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 7 is not 8. But right now it's still only 4 points. So that's 5 points. So that's okay. I don't mind that too much. All right. And then he adds 1 to the wind. He can't. And there he goes. All right. So now for my last action, the wind tile. Or the wind card. Move a cloud you're present in to an adjacent space. So it's literally this one, so I can either move it there, there, or there. And I think move it in a, Let's go move it up there. Done. And I will put a vote on rain or frost. Neither of those are really appealing to me, so I'll just take the point there, and I'll drop one of these down to there. All right, he takes a turn, then I pass. And that'll be the end of the round. All right, card number 2 again. Take 2 neutral drops from the supply, put them directly onto the selected tile. Anything but 1 would be great. Okay, 4. Yeah, it's 4 points, you mooch. That sucks. And he gets 2 more points. Will you stop that? All right, so that's the end of the round for actions. Now we go into the climate phase. I have 2 methane. He has 3 methane. So he's going to control this. So we count the number of methane that's out there on the board. We have 2. We have, I think, just 1. Yeah, there's a total of 3. 3 says it's going to drop down 2. There. He gets the 2 points. Yeah. Okay. Take care, Chad. All right, so now the weather phase. Top 2 vote getters. That looks like 7 and 5. So we start at frost, go clockwise. So we will be doing wind first. Wind. After resolving my wind, remember we're going to move it north, right? So wind for me is move any 1 drop from a field to an adjacent field. Any 1 drop from a field to an adjacent field. I think I'm going to take 1 of his and move it up there. Done. Then we start at tile P3, then 4, then 5, then 6. If I have a tile on it, it goes north. So that happens. Still not sprouting, but this one still sprouting. This one, move 1 of mine. Oh, that's okay, because now there's 4 and it's now drowning. So now instead of 6 points, it's 2 points. Thank you. Nothing here, done. So these now come back. He now has votes available. And finally, this one is going to be the rain one. All thunderclouds, rain. It still doesn't hurt me in a sense that there's still only one germinated or pollinated there. So that's okay. That's there. Nothing, nothing. Both of these are thunderclouds, so that goes away. Oh, it's definitely flooded now. And this one. So it is currently 3-3. So the scoring on that goes to the second number, so the lower amount. And each player gets that. Or divide by, I believe each player gets that. All right? All right. So done. Okay, and then these come back. That is the weather phase. And now a harvest phase. Are all these dice on the harvest? No. Okay, harvest phase is done. Advance the round marker. Done. We only roll the harvest die. Okay, there we go. And I get 9 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And let me organize these. Well, that sucked. That was a terrible draw for me because there is no frost, which means more new clouds. There are no clouds on the board as far as that goes. Oh, hold on, did I do that wrong? Non-harvest dice. You are correct. You are correct. Did that backwards. Good call. Thank you, Weathered. I mean, you should know, right? I mean, Weathered. All right, you're right. There we go. So odds are there's going to be a harvest here, and there will be a harvest at the end of the game no matter what. And at the end of the 4th round, before the harvest, every space that has some votes on it will trigger. Oh, also, by the way, he won that one and he won that one, which means he moves up 2 spots there. Thank you. All right, let me get some tea. All right. All right, card number 14. Roll the die. Remove methane from the closest cloud with the water drops in it. There is none. So, can't do that. So, therefore, move the cow to the tile beneath that. There isn't. Hold on. If not a valid, spots. So I don't know. If there's not a valid, then I would say, let me go back to the base then. Do nothing in the fields and advance a point on the victory point instead. I think I might have shorted him another point previously, so if I win by a point, there. And then the harvest action, so that will drop down to 1, and he will gain another point. So, because there's no valid action for him. All right. So, we need clouds. So what do we have? Where are we? All right, he's going to score a little bit of points there. I don't care. That's fine. I would like to be able to win that and make sure. It's 4 points, right? This one I'm in dominating position, provided that stays there. I need more methane to make sure that I control it, though. And I get to do whatever it says instead of him. Or do I spend the oh, man. I kind of hate doing this, but I'm going to spend 2 sun cards. Spend them as a frost card. And I will go ahead and put out a cloud. And where do I want to put said cloud now? Do I add it? Do I put it there? Or do I put it there? Those are the 2 options that I see as valid. I'm never going to be able to win first place. I think that wheat token's too important to me. I think I'll put it there. All right, so now Frost or Sun. And there, done. Not going to do a second action, I don't think. Do I want to do the B action? No, because I don't have... I could spend a card. No, I don't think I need to. No, I'm not gonna. Done. All right. Number 12, roll the die. Add 2 methane to the cloud. 6, 2 methane. Above the tile closest to the cow's current tile. Or the closest adjacent tile. So, I don't know. It's technically this, so would it be, I guess it's closer to this tile than that tile, so I would argue that we add 2 methane to that. 1, 2, there. Add a fertilizer to that one and move the cow to the closest adjacent tile. It must move. Closest adjacent tile to that, and it must move. Would it be here or would it be there? I would say there because it's closer to that. That is a busy tile right there. All right, done. And whatever has the fewest starting from Frost and a harvest. So he scores 2 points. I should have done that if I was thinking. Yep, so we're going to have a harvest after this round. All right. Don't need to make it rain. I do have a couple of wins. Be able to grab that methane and move it up there. Yeah. Let's go ahead and play real tactically, I think. Yeah, we'll go ahead and blow the wind here. So that will push down there. That becomes a thundercloud there. Wind or rain. And let's go and put it on rain. No, let's put it on wind. Done. And are we taking a second action? I don't believe so, or because I want to keep my methane. It's currently at 5. It would give him 2 points, but that would give me 8. Oh no, oh. Yeah, I need wind to happen now before the scoring because I don't want him to get those 4 points. Oh boy. Nope, no second action. All right, card number 11. So it's the B one. Move the B to the highest numbered tile where it is not currently present. Okay. The neutral player does not have a majority drops on or has the majority but the tile hasn't sprouted. I would argue that the tile hasn't sprouted there. And that would be the highest, so the B will move there. This is not good for us. Okay. Remove all the dormant and there. Ugh. So we can't do the harvest die, so he's going to get a point. And the lowest is going to be rain there. So now it's going to be 8 points. And he also adds 2 more here, which feels like a bit of overkill. He has 1 left. Okay, done. Now we need to get down to this tile. Now we have to. Well, shoot, that may change things. Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to have to change things. So I'll take the wind, and I will take these guys and move it over there. And that will add a wind or rain. We'll put that there. Done. Do I want to take another action? Oh, no. I need... Oh, no. That's okay. I think. I need to move that and then make it rain. That'll work. I just won't have control of the methane. So be it. Okay. Done. Card number 3. Remove 1 drop from a tile, one of my drops. From tile. Oh, come on. That's not good. And adds 1 onto frost. Ouch. That hurt. That gave him majority, which now gives him the wheat tile. Okay. Oh, by the way, that sprouted a while ago. I forgot to mark that. So sprouted. That's sprouted now. So everything but the cotton. That's not good. I'm going to spend these 2 as a wind to move that there. How many are in there now? We're looking at 3, 7. Careful. And that was wind. So that's there. Those go away. And do I want to do a second one? Don't want the B. Don't want that. No. Oh, vey. All right. Card number 5. Place a drop in a cloud. A neutral drop. Oh. Well, that's his last drop. So there's that. He adds 1 onto sun. And harvest he doesn't get, so gets a point. Done. Okay, so now that seems wasteful, but if I drop that, that's okay. That puts it at 6, that raises it. Yeah, I'll play my sun card to add 2 to this, which means it now rains down because it's at 9. So these 4 drops go onto there. These 5 methanes stay in the cloud. And it technically is a thundercloud there. But at least now we're shaving down his lead a little bit there. And that will be a sun or wind. And that will be wind. 5, 5, 5. Perfect. And do I want to do another action? I don't want to take the methane because that's at 5. That'll stay where it is. That's okay. If I rain, I can't because I've already done that. No, I'm done. Or am I? Wait a second. Oh no. Nope. Card 6 is place a 1 drop on a cloud, a neutral. Add a neutral to a cloud. On 2. If there's no cloud on the tile, it's not a valid target. Well, technically there is no cloud, even though there's this one, which doesn't count, which means he's going to get a point, so never mind. And he adds 2 onto the sun. And then I will use this and these 2 to make a frost cloud. And I think that will go there. Oh wait, better yet. I'll just put it there. Done. And not taking a second action. So this will be the last one. Card number 7 is move a mixed cloud. There isn't any, so he's just going to get a point. And he adds 2 to wind, which is pretty much the worst thing that could have happened for me. Oh, man. And I'll explain why. So, rain. So it's going to rain 1 drop up to 2 clouds. So that will go here, which I really didn't care about. And that'll go frost or rain. Oh, that saved me, actually. There. He takes another turn. And the honeybee one. He has no drops. Advance the neutral player by a point and skip the remaining steps. So 1 point and he gets 2 honey. So he's at 7. That's not good. All right, so we pass. That's the end of that. So now there are 5 here. So it doesn't move. It stays where it is. Done. That's the climate effect, which means he gets 2 points. Done. And now we go into the weather phase. So I have to do that one. The frost one. All light clouds become thunderclouds. Done. That's it. But he gets this, which it kills me. But I can't have it move. I can't do the wind one because then that would push up and I would lose the sprouting on that. And then the sun means we double there. And neutral player first doubles his presence in all clouds. Then I double. If he doesn't have enough, never mind. Done. So that's it. So I will advance that. All these go away. And we will have back-to-back harvests here and then next round because of the last round. Here we go. Okay, so here he's going to take first, which is going to be 4 points for him. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, the crushing thing is he gets the wheat token. I'm going to get 3 points. And he got 4 for that. I got 3. Done. And we add 1 onto that, and these go away. I pushed a yellow from wind to sun. Oh, did I? So, should it have been like that? So these go away. That goes away. Done. Then here, it's drowning, so he scores 2, and I score 2. I'll take that. 2 and 2, and all of these go away. Oops. There, and that's done, and I need to add there. And what happens if we run out of the pollination ones after harvest? Because we are going to run out of them. Honey tiles first, then the least amount of dormant pollen. So it will be 1 on that when it's done, 1 on that when it's done. First player picks. I'm going to put 1 there. There we go. All right. So then this one, thankfully, has 2. It has 1 pollinated, so I'm going to score 5 and 3 honey. What is this honey that you speak of? It's been forever since I've had any. There, and 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those come off. That comes off. Oh, 2 more points for the fertilizers as well. 2, done. Oh, so if that comes off, then that will go there and everything's good. Then over here, are there 4 and are we still in the temperate zone? We are, so I'm going to score 9. He will score 4. 1, 2, and 7, and he will score 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And those are done. And the cow hangs out. Nothing here, and then this big boy. So this says a maximum of 4 pollinated or germinated. So there are 2. So he gets 4 times 2 for first, which is 8 points. Plus 1 is 9. 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. So he's at 52. And I get the smaller amount, which is going to be 4 points, and don't get that. So that'll be 4. And all of these bad boys come off, as well as those 2. That will stay. Oh my, it's a lot of water. Glub, 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 glub. And that should be out of there as well. All right. All right. That cleaned things up a bit, didn't it? Okay. So it's harvest, advance the round marker, last round. We're going to roll all the dice. We are going to have a harvest no matter what. And every weather effect will come into play as well that has a vote, at least one vote. And I will deal 9 cards to yours truly. One too many. Done. All right. So I'm at 41, he's at 52. Got him where I want him. Well, I mean, if there's not any clouds out there, that's not so bad. Okay. All right. We definitely need wheat. We need 1 wheat tile. And I need honey. And obviously points, but I digress. He can only have 1 methane. All right, let's do it. Reshuffle. Reshuffle. All right. All right. All right, card number 8. Move a pure cloud with only neutral raindrops. There aren't any. He gets a point, and he's going to add 1 to wind. It's a fight to the death on that one, ain't it? All right, he's done. We're going to go ahead, and let's go ahead and do this real quick, because I'm at 7. I don't know that I'm going to pollinate that tile at all, so I'm just going to take all the methane that's there. There we go. So it's now 5 to 1. And I will go ahead and bump that down and take my 2 points. Done. Oh, shoot, I totally forgot about these things, didn't I? Son of a biscuit. Oh, I totally did. All right, so let me go back over what those are. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Where y'all been on that? Sheesh. 3 and 5. I know what 19 is, the one in the middle. 3 and 5. Before a harvest, count all drops in clouds as if they were in tiles. That's this one. That's nice. And this one is 5, I said. Beginning of the weather phase, add a vote to any weather space on the main board. Huh. Yep. So I guess, yeah, good call. Yeah, I totally forgot about those. Oh, that's going to be helpful. Oh, God, that's going to be massively helpful. Thank you. All right. We're not going to play... Yeah, right. Seriously, hard mode. As always, right? All right. So he's up. Card 5. Place a drop on a cloud. On the selected tile. If there's no cloud, there's no valid. So if I don't roll a 6... Oh, actually... he will continue going, so it doesn't matter. He will go there. Doesn't matter. So he will add 1 there. And he will add a vote on the sun and one towards the harvest die, which will be a point for him. Thank you. Christopher, well, I was Chipmunky. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. All right. I need to play that, by the way, that Heavy Rain. I have it downstairs, just haven't gotten to it. All right. So if I don't care about that tile, I absolutely want to get that up there. Yup. We're going to go ahead and make a cloud. Yep. That'll do, pig. Sun or frost. And if I want stuff to rain down, and was that every cloud? All drops in all clouds as if they were on tiles. Ooh. Let's go ahead and keep him from getting that right now. So that's done. And do I want to take another action? I don't think so yet. I don't think so. 2 on 2 clouds. I can move that over. That'll work. Nope, not gonna. He's up. All right, card 14. You know what? I feel like these are, yeah. These two haven't been separated at all, so now I'm gonna shuffle a little bit. Just because those two keep coming back to back, because they're paper versus cards. So, there. All right, so 14 is remove the methane from the closest cloud. There is no methane. Done, so he's gonna get a point. And then he will harvest, and drops to a 2. It's another point, done. All right, so now, I will go ahead and make another cloud. That'll go there. And sun again. Done. And I'm in a pretty good position right now, I think. So I'm going to take a second action. I'm going to use my rain. And I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 methane as a second card, as another rain card. And when I do so, nope, I have to, okay, 2 is the second card. So you know what? Check that. I will do that instead. The 2 wind become a rain card as well. Then I will spend 1 methane to then allow me to rain down 2 from 2 different clouds. So 2 into that one, and 2 into that one. Done. So now, that is sprouted. His turn. Card 1, take a neutral drop from the supply and put it onto the selected tile. I would prefer a 1, that'd be great. Nope, that'd be a 4. That's okay. And he's gonna make it rain and a harvest. So there, and a harvest, there. So which is 1 point. There. 1 more cloud. That'll go there. And that'll be another on the sun. Will it? Will it, will it, will it? No. It'll go on there. Done. That'll be last, yeah, just the one. Card 6, place a neutral drop on a cloud in the selected tile. 3, 1, 2, 3, so it'll end up going right there. And 2 on the sun. Oh, you suck so bad, dude. Really? Really? Come on, man. Penultimate card. The wind will blow this cloud over here. And then I will add 1 onto wind. There. All right, done. I'm working this through in my head. I apologize. Just, all right. Remove 1 of your drops from the selected tile. Oh, dude. Literally, it can be anything but a 2 I can roll. Okay. 5, nope. 6, nope. 7, yep. So that goes away. That's okay. And then he adds 1 to the front. Of course he does. That cost me points. All right. So my last turn is going to be here. That is going to be I'm going to spend 2 methane. The methane is going to be for a rain card. Yeah, it's going to turn it into a rain card. So then I will spend 1 more methane to rain down 2, which sprouts that. And I will rain down 2, which sprouts that. And that was a rain, so it'll be here or there, or 2 points. This is worth more to do it this way, and I hope that works. Okay, last action of the game. Whatever has the least, so I'm just going to do this a little bit backwards. He gets that, and he gets the 2 points for that. Okay, so now the final card is 12. Add 2 methane to the cloud closest to the cow. Well, it literally Has to be that. There. Add a fertilizer to the cows. That's not going to matter. And then move the cow. It literally doesn't matter. He's going to go munch on some blueberries. And done. I pass. There we go. So now we go into the climate phase. We're tied, and so I win this. There's currently 2. So it'll drop 3. 1, 2, 3. I could use this, but it doesn't really help. So for the climate phase, this is the first time I've had this. It's moved out of there. So let's see. So it's cold. Add 1 methane from the supply to a cloud of your choice. Okay. Add 1 of your water drops to a cloud of your choice. Done. Okay. That's the climate phase. Done. Weather phase. Now, just ahead of the weather phase, I will do this, which this one, where did I have that deck? That deck, I think, is that one right there. I can add 1 vote anywhere. So let's see. I'm winning that. I'm winning that. Well, let's keep him from moving up. That'll work. Still going to get him 7 points, but it's less than it would have been. So we start with the frosts. Oh, no. Oh, no, we're still good. Okay. Well, that already was a thundercloud. That's here, but that moves me up to there. Done. Because remember, everything that has votes activates. The sun, first, it doubles its presence in all the clouds. Oh no, this is terrible. He adds 2. If there's at least 1 of your drops on it, move 1 of your I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sun. Then I double all mine, which is only 1. I think that's now 4 and 4. That sucks. And I believe that's enough to make it rain. It's going to anyways. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is. So that immediately happens. Oh, that cost me 4 points. 4 to 4. Ouch. Okay. So that is here, and nobody moves up because we're tied. And now wind. Oh, no. That actually was really, really bad. Because wind is going... I get to move... Hold on. First, after move any 1 drop to an adjacent tile. There's nothing I can do to fix it, so... Oh, yes, there is. Dur. I will move that there. Then, anything here, 1 would move up. Of mine, move up. 1 of mine. Well, at least I didn't lose points, and that's that. So that is wind, and I'm there. I own that. Or, I have the majority, I should say. And finally, that hurt. That's 7 points for him. All the clouds rain down. All thunderclouds. There are none. So that's it. But more importantly, he moved up there. And now we have the harvest phase. So, sprouting here. At least, hey, at least I get that, and that'll be 4 points, and he is not there, so that'll be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one's done. I'll clean it up later. This one, it's on the lower number, so that's going to be 6 more. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yay. Not going to bother. Not sprouted, not sprouted, sprouted. We're tied. We each get the lower number. 1 and 1. And not sprouted. Done. All right, so we go into final scoring. Who has the most honey? He has 7. I have 3. He gets 10. Okay. Wheat, who has the most? I have 2. Has 1. I get 10. I get 14, 1, 11, 12, 13, 14. I win. Not really. 5, 10, 15, 20, 1. And there you go. I am fairly certain I did not forget anything. And let me double check that there is no final scoring on that bad boy. I don't think so. I think that's it. All right. So the AI beat me 91 to 78. I could have, but I didn't want to use, there was no reason. And plus, if he had any drops in there, I didn't want to use it. And this wouldn't have mattered because it's in the center, so moving that up or down 1 wasn't going to matter. So there you go. Once again, David Turtsey defeats me. Damn you, David. But there you go, yeah. You know, for this being such a simple game, once you add in all the expansions, a lot of stuff here. As it is currently done, I hate the rule books. That one, that one, that one, and you're going to have to take my word for it because that's the cows one. There you go. Thank God they're fixing that, first off. Second, I hope they get a better rules editor. There's way too many holes as it is. But it's prototype stuff, but let's face it, not a good rule book to begin with. So I'm really hoping they got somebody to fix the rules. The rule book is really quite poor in the way it's laid out, really quite poor. Okay, so there's that. Production quality. I can't speak to the deluxe, right? The one that's on Kickstarter, because all I have is this one that's in front of me. I think this is really good. I do wish they'd included these and a lot more of them, but as it is, those are in the deluxe coming, so that's good. I think the game itself is really quite clever. I really like the solo bot. I like the way David designed that. I think he did a very, very good job. It's a tough game. Now, I will say, at no point does the theme come through for me, at least as a solo gamer here. The theme, I'm trying to put drops of glass and have more than my opponent. So I like the concept of the theme, and I love the artwork, like on the tiles themselves, like the watermelon, the cactus, and there's a ton more. I have all the extra boxes laid out over there, but yeah, I love the artwork. I think the artwork is wonderful in this. I think in a multiplayer game, this is going to be a lot more dynamic. And I think I think this excels more as a multiplayer game than a solo game. But I enjoyed my solo experience of this. I enjoyed my multiplayer more, I think, though. I'm trying to think, like, what else is there? I think the game does well in what it's trying to do. I think the cows and the tongue-in-cheek with the methane, and I mean, it's pretty spot on thematically, right? Because methane gas, it's greenhouse gas, right? So there's that. Let's see. Board Game Mom, not a good sign for me. Pretty inept at reading rules and instructions. Good news, they are redoing it. I'm just talking about the current iteration that I have right now. I have faith that they will get it right. In fact, I've had assurances. So let's see, what else? Jonathan volunteered as tribute to edit the rules. This is the reason I hate solo play. I hate losing against a game. Then there's a coin for that. It says play better. So that's 100% on me. There's that. And yeah, and here's the thing. I played with 3 expansions, as you guys can see right there. You don't have to. Like, the game is very modular, and if I didn't have the bees, would I have felt like it's a lesser game? No, it's just less, less I got to figure out in here, point-wise and stuff. The flower expansion basically was the cards that I forgot until the end, so I kind of played without it, except for also the individual player powers, which I like asymmetric player powers. So there's no reason not to play with this. I feel like that's really simple. And then there's special flower tiles, and they have additional rules, but in the solo game, you're just not going to do that if you're playing with the other expansions. Let's see. Chip says, the more I see Petrichor, the more I want to own it. Thanks for showing it off. Cool. All right, mission accomplished then. Good. Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm just, again, this isn't sponsored. You want my honest opinion, but I also have faith that they're going to fix the rule book. I'm not worried about that. So, yeah. Outside of that, like I said, the artwork's beautiful. The gameplay is interesting. I don't know how much the theme really, I mean, the 3D aspect, you know, when you have the clouds on the tiles like so, right? And you have that. I like the idea. I like the theme. I just don't know how much it feels like it. But I don't need that, you know. And like I said, I think the methane and the way that board, I think this becomes more dynamic in a multiplayer game. So I wouldn't, I'm excited to see this in a multiplayer game. I've yet to play it as a multiplayer game. I saw Jess's playthrough of it. Yeah, I just want to see that multiplayer. I think that would be really interesting with the, battling of where this is going to be. And if you have more trees in the game that are dependent on the specific areas of the climate, I think that becomes like a knife fight in a phone booth type thing. So I really am excited to try that out. Other than that, yeah, the collector's edition looks really good on Kickstarter. I'm excited to get a copy of it. But other than that, I think that's it. I forget anything? No? All right. So there you go. That is, yeah. Can I compare this game to others? Ivan asks. I have no idea what I would compare it to. I mean, there's nothing else out there theme-wise, right? I mean, I don't know of any other where you're a cloud. So there's that. That's a positive. As far as gameplay, I mean, it's a area majority, right? At its heart, it's area majority because all of the tiles here, first, second, third, et cetera, and it's all about manipulating the game state. I will say that if you are on the Care Bear side of things, this game can be pretty cutthroat. It doesn't have to be, but it can be because, oh, hey, you were in first. Hey, I'm going to move that out of the way, et cetera, et cetera. So any kind of area majority game like that, I think, makes sense on this. Yeah, but like a direct comparison, there's nothing that comes to mind. I think it's mechanically really simple. It's 5 phases, 4 if it's without cows. And even the cows one is really easy. Count the methane. Whoever has the majority, you move the methane, the climate track, and do whatever it says on the climate track. So that's pretty simple. But all the phases in and of itself are really simple. But the depth of the decisions are pretty tough. And I am determined to beat David's AI next time I play. So there you go. Board Gamer Mom, did you say cutthroat? Oh, I'm in love. Exactly. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to bug out of here. It's Sunday. I have a hockey game. 6.5 hours. Go Canucks. That's about it. That's all I got. Thanks to Mighty Boards for the prototype and the review copy. Thanks to Jess for the help with everything on this. And thanks to you all for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumb down below. Subscribe if you don't. I can't understand why you wouldn't. And, you know, let's make that number bigger. You get perks too. PledgeHC.com. Support the show there. I certainly would appreciate it. It's been a rough month, so certainly would appreciate that. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Be kind to one another. Wear your masks. Social distance. I will be back tomorrow at noon for the weekly look ahead. Other than that, I'm Edward. You guys are you. Stay you. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care, everybody.